This is the New York Rangers Draft Special presented by Montefiore, John Giannone, Joe Micheletti, Steve Valiquette, joined by the president of the New York Rangers, John Davidson, as you and everyone else, JD, looks forward so much to Tuesday night, a night that had a 12.5% chance of happening for the Rangers, but is now 100% certain that you'll take the number one overall pick. The world says Alexis Lafreniere will be the guy. What say the Rangers as you guys look toward Tuesday?
You have to tune in for sure. Yeah, we're excited. We're really excited. We've gone through, it seems like 100 Zooms all during the pause here to talk to all the kids. Anyway, we actually have 10 picks. So the first round will be Tuesday night, and then Wednesday will be the rest of the rounds, 2nd through 7th. And there's been a lot of work put into this. It's all going to be virtually done this time around. It'll be at the training center in our conference room, and there's a real air of excitement here. We've done a lot of work on the top players, and the player we're gonna pick, we've pretty much decided as a group is somebody that's very exciting. So I really don't want to get into it any more than that, other than we're ecstatic as a group. I think Ranger fans should be ecstatic. It's we got lucky, and we're going to take advantage of it. And it doesn't happen very often in life like this. So this is a big one for us.
Well, since you're not going to tell us, which is really the reason we brought you on, so you could tell us. But anyway, the draft has changed so much over the years. It used to be just statistics, and now you and your group, you go through so much. You mentioned all the conversations you've had and all the other people that you talk to, their coaches and their family, and trying to get the best read you can on the kid you're going to take. So is there anything in particular that has really stood out with this player that you're going to take that maybe you didn't know about by just watching him or looking at his resume?
I think character and maturity, two big ones for sure. And when you talk to the kids, you can separate them a little bit through the maturity level. They're all good players, all of them. I mean, I'm talking about our number 22 pick. We're going to get a good player. This is a pretty deep draft. And when you talk to all the young guys throughout the pause here, and actually we've been a little bit lucky in the fact that there's games being played over in Europe, some in Sweden, some in Finland, and some of these draftable kids have been playing. So we've been able to watch those too and build more of a book, probably like everybody else too. But with the top pick, the maturity level and the confidence and the just kind of an open-minded, not being overwhelmed. There's a lot of good things here that come with the package. So I don't think there's when you see that happen, there's always growing pains. You look around the league, the great players, Nathan MacKinnon, how long it took him to become the Nathan MacKinnon we know today, playing in Colorado. It takes time, but sometimes you get young players, they actually go back a little bit before they go forward because they're a little bit overwhelmed. It could be for many different reasons. But it seems to me that the young man that we're going to be picking, he's got all that. Those boxes are checked already. It's a good sign.
JD, when you get to the 22nd pick, now that we're really in the third draft of the rebuild, is it changed the organization's philosophy on maybe next man up or organizational needs with that 22nd pick?
I think it's the best player available generally. Obviously, there's a shortage of centers around, things like that. It could be a power play defenseman. It could be anything along those lines. You're always looking. But you also have to remember that when you're drafting a person on Tuesday or Wednesday, or make that Wednesday, not so much Tuesday, is that player might be 2 or 3 years away. Mm-hmm. So you have to get your projections involved in your thinking a little bit. The other thing to remember is with Jeff and Drew, they've worked at getting a lot of picks over the last few years. Not everybody's going to have room. Not everybody's going to play. But you can, as you move along in a rebuild or build, as you move along, you can accumulate assets, and somebody else may need something that you have a lot of, and you may need something that they have a lot of. So you can get yourself involved in a deal as you move along. I think the assets that you acquire, and if you go throughout the development of the player and you do it right, whether it's strength and conditioning, whether it's a mental aspect, whether it's building the body, all this type of stuff, if you do your job, you're going to end up with a lot of pretty good players. And then we have some more tough decisions to make. Which ones can be here? Which ones can we maybe move along and help them have a career, but get something back that's going to help us, whether it's picks or somebody that is a need at a certain position. It's a big cycle. It's a big think tank, but it's exciting. And I tell you what's exciting about it is if you're an organization that doesn't have those opportunities, it doesn't have those options, it's bleak. But if you're an organization that has all these opportunities and you have these assets and you have these picks that you've worked so hard to acquire, but patience has to be part of it.
And as far as that's concerned, JD, you talked about this year's draft being a deep one. Where specifically is it deep? How is your scouting staff, how have you evaluated what this draft is going to provide through several rounds?
Yeah, well, I think that this draft is a draft that's got some very good high-end players. And then when you go to the next level down, which is just a hair, there's a lot of them. And so, I mean, that makes it even harder to make your decisions, but at least you have that opportunity to be involved in making hard decisions. It's not once you get past the first 12, like some years, 12 or 14 players, then it gets pretty thin, and there might be some that'll play, yes, but how good are they going to be? This one seems to be a draft that has the high end, and then the next level has just a good number of really good young players that are going to be good players at the NHL level for sure. And that's why scouts stay up late at night and watch tape and try to make decisions. And what's interesting with this one, this draft should have been over in June, as we all know. Now we're going to have it in October. Well, these scouts have all had more time to reevaluate and look at the list and maybe change this and maybe change that. So it's been quite a ride for these guys.